Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Mitchell FX here. Before we get into it, if you could hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, that would be massively appreciated. Let's get into this week's analysis. So these that are flagged are the ones that I've already pre-looked at, just to save a little bit of time in the video so I can make it short and sweet. So the ones that are flagged are the ones that I am going to be going through today for the following week. I've already sort of marked up some areas where I think it's going to go, so it'll make life a little bit easier and a little bit quicker for the sake of this video. So AUD CAD, personal opinion, it is either going to break and retest up to the top, or it will continue to push down, sort of break these levels right here, and we will either get a break and a retest again. You know me, wait for that break and retest, enter the sell, back down to the downside to take out these lows, and again I will pretty much be doing the same here. So it breaks, retests, looking for that buy up to the top. So that is my opinion on AUD CAD. Nice and simple. I'm not going to get too much into it. You can sort of see the levels. It's failed to break past this level here. So it's obviously support, breakthrough, resistance. So it's either going to continue now creating lower lows, lower highs, all the way down, possibly to this low here, or even if we track back a little bit to these lows here, or we're going to start to get a reversal. Nice little breaker structure to the upside. But again, I will only be entering when we have break and retests on these zones. So AUDCHF, literally exactly the same. It's kind of in the middle at the minute. You can see it's just a lot of consolidation. So I will be looking for either a push down to this area at this point. I'll be looking for a break and a retest. Switch it to the daily, and I'll be looking for some areas maybe for it to continue to keep going all the way down here, or I'll be looking for that buy. I mean, straight away I can see we're in a fair value gap right here, so there is a possibility it could continue to push up past this zone, back into our area, looking for that buy to the top for this week. So again, similar situation. I will be looking for the breaks and retests on these tops over the last and bottoms over the last couple of weeks. EURGBP, I'm pretty sure, as we've, you could say this area we've been coming down, lower lows, lower highs. We've then pushed up, higher highs, higher lows. I think it will possibly continue to push up, but it needs to pull back, either to this area here. I do think it will pull back a little bit further. We have a little bit of consolidation in this area here, where lots of push downs have occurred somewhere around there. So I think it will come to this area here before actually pushing to the upside. From there, I will obviously, oh my gosh, from there I'll be looking for a buy. Oh my gosh, what is going on? From here, I'll be looking for a buy. Back to, you can see it a bit better now, actually. You can sort of see all these highs that it's pushed down, pushed down. If you drop it down again, you will see a bit more. Push more, push more, push more, push more, push more. So I do think that is my area that I will be looking for. AUD New Zealand. I do think it will continue to push up. However, I think it needs to, come back a little bit. As you can see, over the last couple of weeks, it's just gone up and up and up and up. I think now we're sort of at that point where it could do with coming down just a little bit straight away, somewhere around this area, or where all these tops are, is where I'll be looking for my buy. No stress though. You could be waiting a couple of days for it to come down. In the meantime, one of these could get a nice little break and retest. So no stress, no stress. Bitcoin, I think, needs to come down before I get into a buy. You can see straight away, if we look on the daily, high time frames are so much more accurate, so I do recommend it. can see all these push downs creating resistance. We've now broke that resistance. It is only a matter of time until that resistance becomes support. It's happened time and time again. Can sort of see it here on the smaller time frame, the smaller time frame, not small time frame, where it's broke, retested, and pushed up. So I think really sort of needs to come back down to here. I mean, it might continue to come back down a little bit more. You know, there is these levels here, so it could come back down to here. However, again, when it enters my areas, I'll be looking for those bullish candles out of the areas like this. Look for the buy and then enter. So like this candle, for example, wait for it to close, enter, but I won't be doing it on the daily. Doing it on the 4 hour straight away. All of these look nice, good candles leaving, and again in these ones, candle left, entry right there. Could have entered here as well, and you would have still been sold. CAD CHF, I do think it will come up again. If you haven't guessed already, break and retest is what I will be looking for. I won't just be entering just because it's in this area. It's like now, for example, just because it's in that area, I will not be entering until I see, similar to this, a nice bullish candle out. So let's say it creates a nice bullish candle here. I won't just enter on the next one. I want to see a gap between these candles. So kind of like this one. See how there's a gap here? So it's pushed out, re-entered this gap, this area here, and there's a gap. I don't like how there's lots of consolidated candles. I like to see a gap before I enter. But I do think CAD CHF is pushing up. CHF JPY, I'm pretty sure I said all the way down. Yes, as you can see, for literally weeks and weeks and weeks since February, it has literally February this year. I don't know what I was going to say, 23 then. February 25 this year. Oh my gosh, what is going on? It has been pushing up. I do think now straight away, you can see on the weekly, somewhere around this area. So I do think it could now start to make lower lows, lower highs on the downside. Possibly try and get some of those entries heading towards this area. Try and catch some sells, possibly, but we'll see as over this week, possibly the next couple of weeks. Euro AUD, I'm sitting on the fence with this one. It's kind of just in the middle of, you know, a lot of support and resistance areas. If you haven't guessed it already, break, retest for the buy, I'll be looking for. And then here, break, retest for the low. Again, my target zone will be up here. If it breaks this area, retests it, I'll be looking to buy from here to the top. Or if it breaks this area here, these lows here, I'll be looking for a break, retest, and then aiming for a sell, possibly down to these levels here. Always look to the left on the bigger time frames. Makes life so much easier. Euro CHF, again, I'm kind of sat on the fence. I do think it will come down. However, with forex, who knows? Again, if it breaks and retests either side, I'll be looking for a break, retest to the up, looking for these areas here maybe, and then if it breaks, retest, I'll be looking for these areas here to the downside. So pretty simple, nice and simple, straightforward areas we shall see for this week. Skipping all these, GBP AUD. So I said up. I need it to pull back a little bit if I'm honest, or from these areas here, you can sort of see these areas here. I'll be looking for a break and retest, sort of these areas, and then as it pushes up into these areas here. You can sort of see there we've got a couple of support. It did break, but then it broke back up. Support, break the support, resistance. So possible upside entry. GBP CAD. I do think this is coming. Oh my gosh, my voice cracked. I do think this is coming down. You know, over the last couple of weeks, has been, you know, lower low, lower high, lower low created. Could be possible lower high, and then continue down to take out this low here, and then possibly continue for the rest of these lows. So I do think that is coming down. GBPCHF. Again, I'm just running through these very quickly. I'm not going to keep everybody hanging around. Things coming down. It's coming down again. I'll be looking for a break and retest though on this area. So I'll be looking for it to break, retest somewhere around this area. Looking for a sell. GBP New Zealand. If I'm honest, I'll be looking for a buy as it starts to leave this area here. If I start to see a bullish candle leave this area, I'll be honest, I will be getting into this because we have a nice area, a nice gap area here, kind of like this. So it's left, entered, got a nice area. So it hasn't just literally been the next candle and then entered. You know, you got a little bit of confirmation, nice lower low, lower high created before entering. Similar to this, so we pushed up, we've got an area here, and potentially this could be my first trade of the week, I will be honest, to that upside. GBPUSD, I think it's coming down, however this is my area, so I'll be looking for a break and retest on that area right there. We've got a lot. If you drag it to the left as well, you can see we don't want to go too far back though. So that's GBP USD, New Zealand, Canada. Looking for the downside, if I'm honest. I think, what was that over here? I have no idea. I think it's going to come down to this area here, which is what I've just dragged across. That's why it was on the daily. You couldn't see that. It's on the 4-hour. Break and retest on this area here. Just dragged it out of the way for now. New Zealand CHF, looking for a sell, so I'm looking to break these lows here, pull back up, and then enter somewhere around all these lows here. New Zealand JPY, looking for a pullback. I don't know what my arrow is drawn that way, and then I'll be looking for a buy back up to the top. So that is my, again, if I just drag this over this way a little bit, you can see there's plenty of resistance. Oh my gosh. Resistance, 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 break, support, support, break. Now it's broke again, so it's kind of undecided which way, but I do think this is going to continue to push up. Just get rid of all that. New Zealand US dollar, I think it's coming down. This could again possibly be my first trade of the week. I think it's going to continue to come down. As you can see, we've had plenty of lower lows, lower highs. We've got support all across this week. It's tapped in for this week. Last week, sorry. So we got broke, it's retested. So I do think this is a strong area to be selling all the way down here for the week. I think this is coming up. USD CAD. Oh, gosh, it's been a long day. So, if it pulls back into this area, I will be looking for a buy in this area, possibly to take out these highs. So obviously here we've got all these highs here and up here. USD CHF. If this pulls back to maybe this area here, or even to this area here, I will be looking for a buy, but I do think US dollar CHF is going to go up. USDJPY, I'm pretty sure I said a pullback. Yes, I did. If we look on the daily time frame, we have so many taps across here. So I think it could literally end up coming all the way down here, or possibly this area here where we have lots of tap-ins across the last couple of weeks. So I will be keeping my eye out for either this area or this area where I will be looking for potential buys. But that is my analysis, nice and simple, straight to the point, no beating around the bush, just a quick short video. I tried to make it short as possible instead of dragging this video on for hours and hours and hours. But yeah, this is my analysis of these pairs that I'm interested for this week, for potential buy and sell setups. So again, I would appreciate if you could hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and I will see you next week. Good luck trading. Peace out.